Let's talk about Sesame Street VHS tapes in Spanish. This is actually the first VHS tape I've sold in Spanish, but it does show that you can sell not only VHS tapes, but ones in other languages. So be on the lookout for that, especially for kids. I haven't seen too many kids VHS tapes in other languages, but if you come across it, definitely look it up at least, especially if it is Sesame Street or Barney or any of the big ones, the big kid sellers. So this is actually the 5th Sesame Street VHS tape I've sold and the 8th VHS tape of the month. We're almost through the end of the month here, and I've sold 8 tapes, which is great. I'm continuing to keep up with the pace that I've been doing for the last few months of selling at least around 10 a month, if not more. And that is great because it doesn't bring a ton of money, but it brings enough money to more than make the effort worth it, considering that VHS tapes don't take that much time. You can test them, which is what I do. I recommend that. I also rewind them, so that's the thing that takes the longest when it comes to VHS tapes. But if you have a VCR, it's pretty easy to do. Just pop it in and test them and rewind them. So it's not that time consuming, and they can bring some good money and be an addition or supplement to your book sales. So I've talked about that a lot. As I send in more, I haven't been sending in a ton of VHSs, but I usually send in a few for each shipment, at least 3 or so. I keep adding to it so I can continue to grow the sales. I haven't sent in a big shipment of VHSs, but over the last few months, I've probably sent in, 20 or 30 or something like that. I at least have over 100 in inventory, so I can keep getting those sales in anticipation of the holidays as well, because they sell really well during the holidays. So I want to build up my inventory so that I can have some good sales during that time. All of my VHS sales this month have been kids programs or movies or whatnot, from Sesame Street to Barney to some other ones. But basically, kids programs are my best-selling VHS category by far. Probably takes up 80 to 90% of my VHS sales. Those are the ones you always want to be on the lookout for. There's many, many, many that are not worth buying and selling on Amazon within the kids category, but there are some, once you get familiar with it, that are definitely worth looking up. The other thing is 3 of the 8 that I've sold this month have gone for really good money. The Sesame Street VHS tape in Spanish went for $24.95. I sold another tape, which was actually a My Little Pony tape, for $22.95. And I also sold a Berenstain Bears tape for $19.95. So those are 3 that are $20 or more, right around 20 bucks. And just between those 3, it's a little over $60 in gross sales. So you can see that the potential is there for making great sales with VHS tapes, and they're very niche, and they sell all year, and they're pretty abundant, especially in thrift stores, sometimes in book sales. And also sometimes you can find them in garage sales and even estate sales as well. So be on the lookout for them and include them in your inventory if you want to. I know books are the most abundant things, but there's usually VHS tapes right alongside books in most places. Some other ones that I sold this month were SpongeBob tape, Barney, Blue's Clues, and Disney Sing-Along tape. So it's a variety of kid stuff. A lot of it did not make it onto DVD, and it's the only place you can find it. And Amazon is usually the best place to find this stuff. So have your eyes open for those types of tapes and those ones. Barney's, Blue's Clues, Sesame Street, and some other ones are my better kid selling programs. Speaking of VHS tapes, I cleaned up the VCRs, which I'll show you in this clip here. Here are the VCRs. They are all cleaned up. And, equally important, they were all tested and they all work. Yay! The Daewoo, the Panasonic, and the Sony, they all work. Put in a VHS tape, hooked them up to a TV. It was real fast to check. I have a little TV that already has a VCR in it, but I just hooked these up to them with the cable and popped the VHS in, and it works. And just hit play, and there you go. Test out, rewind, fast forward, all that. Simple as that, and cleaned them up. That took a little bit longer, but not very long. Took about 15 minutes or so, cleaned them up nice. And now I just have to wrap them up. Well, I'm going to list them, of course, but just need to wrap them up, and there you go. Pretty simple. Doesn't take very long, but the potential big profits in these. So when I see them, I'm going to take a look at them and see if they're worth anything. I understand people that feel that they're too big and takes too many steps to prepare them, but it doesn't take too much. Once you do a few of them, you realize that it's not too bad, but to each their own. It was definitely worth it because they all worked, thankfully, but I was pretty certain that they would. And actually there was the date, I think it was the Panasonic, I believe. There was actually another Panasonic of the one that I got. I just was a little bit hesitant to get a second one just because I didn't want to incur long-term storage fees just in case it doesn't sell and that sort of thing. It might be worth going back for it. But at any rate, the 3 are good and cleaned up and they're ready to go. So that should be a lot of fun to get those in and sell those. A few of those should sell, at least 2 of them should sell pretty quick. And I'll price them to sell faster than to take much longer. The other thing I wanted to mention is it is crunch time here for free disposals and returns of books through the Amazon removal promotion. It ends on Saturday, it ends on the 30th, so we have 2 more days. And I have been going at it, doing about 100 or so books a day, going through and either disposing or repricing. I've actually been repricing a lot of them because these are ones that I actually never repriced, or I repriced probably between 6 or 8 months ago. I repriced a lot of these, so I haven't seen them since, and now I'm really bottoming out the prices, and I'm moving some of them. So I'm repricing them, and they're selling within a day or two, some of these. So sometimes you have to try to break even or barely make a profit just to get rid of them. So instead of disposing of them, I would like to try to sell some, and then I can go back on Saturday and just remove a bunch of them. There's a way to do it within the Manage Inventory page. You can select all the ones you want to remove and then remove them all at once. And then you can do it all in one fell swoop. If by Saturday they haven't sold and you want to get rid of them for free and you just don't want them hanging around. So keep that in mind. Make sure that you're getting rid of all this old stuff that is not selling or probably won't sell. But consider repricing some of it because I have sold some of them. And I'd rather sell it for something than just have it disposed of, not get any sales or not anything for it. So keep that in mind. So let's get out there, look for those VHSs. Let's finish the month strong and go into May, ready to have a great May and strong sales and do some sourcing and hopefully a lot of yard sales and estate sales to go to for May as the summer comes around, which is going to be big for yard sales. As always, remember, keep booking!